The Ed Sullivan Theater was alive with anticipation as the house band struck up its jazzy intro for The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. The audience, a mix of die-hard fans and curious tourists, roared as Colbert bounded onto the stage, his signature wit sharpened for another night of late-night banter. Tonight's guest was none other than Denzel Washington, Hollywood legend, Oscar winner, and a man whose commanding presence could silence a room. He was there to promote his latest film, a gritty historical drama about redemption and justice, already generating Oscar buzz. Colbert, ever the provocateur, opened with a monologue poking fun at everything from politics to pop culture, but his jabs at Hollywood's moral crusaders seemed to linger in the air, a subtle jab at Washington's recent comments about faith and values. As Denzel took the stage, the crowd erupted, his easy smile and tailored suit exuding effortless charisma. The interview started smoothly, with Denzel sharing stories about his film's grueling shoot and its message of hope, but the tone shifted when Colbert, leaning forward with a sly grin, pivoted to a tweet Denzel had posted weeks earlier, one that questioned the media's role in shaping public narratives. "Denzel, you've been vocal about truth and authenticity," Colbert said, his voice dripping with just enough edge to raise eyebrows, "but isn't that a bit rich coming from an actor playing roles for a living?" The audience chuckled nervously, sensing the dig. Denzel's smile tightened, his eyes locking onto Colbert's. "Playing roles doesn't mean faking beliefs, Stephen," he replied, his voice calm but firm, like a teacher correcting a student. The crowd murmured, and Colbert, undeterred, pressed harder, questioning whether Denzel's old-school values were out of touch in a modern world. The question landed like a spark on dry grass. "Out of touch?" Denzel shot back, leaning forward, his voice rising with the cadence of a preacher. "I talk about love, family, and second chances, of values that built this country. You call that out of touch, but maybe it's your questions that are out of line." The audience gasped, some clapping, others frozen, as the exchange turned into a verbal fencing match. Colbert tried to pivot with a joke, but Denzel wasn't having it. "You invited me here to talk about my work, not to play gotcha with my faith," he said, his words cutting through the studio's polished veneer. The tension was electric, the cameras zooming in on Colbert's faltering smile and Denzel's unflinching stare. Then came the moment that would dominate headlines. Colbert, trying to regain control, suggested Denzel's views might alienate younger audiences. "Young or old, people want truth, not sound bites." Denzel fired back, his voice booming, "You're not interviewing me, you're interrogating me for clicks." The crowd roared, some cheering, others stunned, as Denzel stood, unclipped his microphone, and said, "I'm done with this circus." He walked off, head high, as the audience erupted into a mix of applause and gasps. Colbert, visibly rattled, stammered, "Well, that's one way to end an interview." Before cutting to commercial. Within minutes, grainy phone footage hit X, with hashtags like #DenzelWalks and #ColbertClash trending worldwide. Posts from users like @NewVirginia1122 amplified the drama, claiming Denzel was kicked off the set, though others, like a Burlington Gazette piece, warned the incident might be exaggerated or even fabricated for clicks. News outlets ran wild, with some praising Denzel's stand against media bias, while others called his exit a diva move. The viral clip, viewed millions of times on YouTube and TikTok, sparked rumors that CBS had banned Denzel from future appearances, though no official statement confirmed it. The moment wasn't just a clash, it was a cultural earthquake, exposing the fault lines between Hollywood, media, and the public's hunger for authenticity. The aftermath of Denzel Washington's walk-off from The Late Show was a media storm unlike any other. By morning, the clip had been dissected on every major network, from CNN to Fox News, with pundits debating whether Denzel was a hero for calling out Colbert's ambush or a prima donna who couldn't handle tough questions. On X, the reaction was even more polarized. Fans posted clips of Denzel's exit, captioned with praise like "Denzel just spoke for all of us tired of media games," while critics slammed him, saying, "He's too big to handle a little pushback." Hashtags like #DenzelWashington and #ColbertClash racked up millions of mentions, with TikTok videos from accounts like @user7395667313754 fueling the narrative that Denzel was forced to leave. Yet a skeptical voice from the Burlington Gazette questioned the story's authenticity, noting that some viral interviews are fabricated for profit, with creators earning thousands from ad-laden posts. Denzel, staying true to his reputation, didn't feed the frenzy. In a rare statement on his Instagram, he wrote, "I stand by my truth. No apologies for being real." The post garnered millions of likes, with fans flooding the comments with support, calling him a beacon of integrity. Colbert, meanwhile, addressed the incident on his next show, attempting to diffuse the tension with humor. "Apparently, Denzel doesn't like my interview style, but we wish him well." The quip fell flat for many, who saw it as dismissive of a deeper issue. Behind the scenes, CBS was in crisis mode, with reports of heated meetings about how to handle the fallout. Insiders whispered that producers were split as some wanted to invite Denzel back to smooth things over, while others feared his return would reignite the drama. The kicked-off narrative, amplified by sensational headlines like those on YouTube channels such as Real Epic, took on a life of its own. Despite no evidence that Denzel was formally banned, the incident tapped into a broader cultural nerve, the growing distrust between celebrities and the media. Denzel's walk-off became a symbol for those who felt talk shows had become battlegrounds, where hosts like Colbert wielded questions like weapons to provoke viral moments. Scholars and commentators weighed in, with one op-ed in The Atlantic arguing that the clash reflected a media culture that prioritizes confrontation over conversation. Others saw it as a stand for personal conviction, with Denzel's faith and values often central to his public persona taking center stage. The actor's history of philanthropy, from scholarships to prison reform, was cited as evidence of his sincerity. Countering Colbert's insinuations, social media became a forum for broader debates, with users sharing stories of feeling misrepresented or stereotyped. Mirroring Denzel's frustration, the incident also sparked a wave of memes, with one viral image showing Denzel's exit captioned, "When you're done with the nonsense." Community leaders and activists seized the moment, organizing panels to discuss media responsibility and the power of words. In schools, teachers used the clip to spark discussions about authenticity and standing up for one's beliefs. The controversy even inspired a wave of fan art, with murals in cities like Los Angeles depicting Denzel with quotes like "truth, not sound bites." For Colbert, the incident was a rare misstep, with some longtime fans questioning his approach, while others defended his right to ask tough questions. The Late Show's ratings spiked, proving that controversy drives viewership, but at the cost of its reputation as a safe celebrity space. The clash had turned a promotional interview into a referendum on media ethics, leaving both Denzel and Colbert to navigate the fallout in a world that thrives on division. Weeks after the explosive clash, the Denzel Washington-Stephen Colbert showdown remained a cultural touchstone. Its ripples felt far beyond the late-night stage. The incident had morphed into a lightning rod for debates about media bias, celebrity authenticity, and the role of faith in public life. On X, the conversation showed no signs of slowing, with users posting side-by-side clips of Denzel's exit and Colbert's awkward recovery, analyzing everything from body language to word choice. One TikTok video from @user7483675069466, captioned "Denzel confronts Colbert in Hollywood drama," garnered 67 likes and thousands of views, amplifying the narrative of a fiery clash. Yet skepticism persisted, with outlets like the Burlington Gazette warning that the story might be a fabricated Facebook scam designed to generate ad revenue. This tension between viral spectacle and potential misinformation became part of the story, as viewers grappled with what was real and what was hype. Denzel, ever the enigma, leaned into his work rather than the drama. At a press junket for his film, he brushed off questions about the incident, saying, "I don't do circus acts, I do movies." His restraint only fueled his legend, with fans on X calling him untouchable and the last real one in Hollywood. His film's box office surged, suggesting the controversy had boosted his visibility, even if unintentionally. Colbert, meanwhile, faced a trickier path. His next few episodes were scrutinized for signs of damage control, with some viewers noting a softer tone in his celebrity interviews. A source close to the show claimed producers were rethinking the gotcha approach, wary of alienating other high-profile guests. The incident also sparked a broader reckoning in late-night TV, with commentators questioning whether hosts like Colbert had crossed a line from entertainment to provocation. A piece in Variety argued that the clash exposed the fragility of the talk show format in an era of polarized audiences. Denzel's walk-off became a rallying cry for those who felt the media too often twists personal beliefs for clicks, especially when it comes to figures like Denzel, whose faith has been a public cornerstone. The controversy also ignited discussions about race and power, with some pointing out that Colbert's probing questions carried an implicit challenge to Denzel's authority as a black icon. He wasn't just questioning Denzel's views, he was questioning his right to have them, one ex-user posted, sparking thousands of retweets. Community organizations used the moment to host forums on media representation, inviting journalists and activists to discuss how black voices are framed in mainstream outlets. The incident even inspired a wave of grassroots campaigns, with hashtags like #StandWithDenzel encouraging fans to share stories of standing up to misrepresentation. Meanwhile, the kicked-off narrative persisted, fueled by sensational YouTube titles like Denzel Washington forced to leave Colbert's show. Yet no official statement from CBS confirmed a ban, and some insiders suggested the network was quietly reaching out to Denzel's team to mend fences. The clash also had a cultural afterlife, with comedians and podcasters riffing on it, and one viral SNL skit parodying a talk show host begging a guest not to walk off. For the public, the incident was a mirror, reflecting frustrations with a media landscape that often prioritizes drama over substance. It also underscored Denzel's unique place in Hollywood, a star who could command respect without bowing to pressure. As the debate raged on, the question lingered: had Denzel been wronged, or had he overreacted? The answer, like the man himself, wasn't easily pinned down. Months after Denzel Washington's dramatic exit from The Late Show, the incident had cemented itself as a defining moment in 2025's cultural landscape. It wasn't just a clash between two titans, it was a referendum on authenticity, media accountability, and the power of conviction. Denzel's walk-off had become a symbol,